Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I am fantastic. How
I
are
am
you?
also fantastic because today is Thursday. We have Dear John Letters. I've got a great Dear John letter today that needs some help. I need the person that sent it in needs some help, need advice. So in addition to the advice from John and Heidi, you can also chime in on our Facebook page. Please do that. I know we have people who give advice every single week, but I would love to have a bunch of people give advice because this is a pretty touchy subject. So Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Here's our quote for today. Carl Sandburg says, "Time is the coin of your life. It is the only coin you have, and only you can determine how it will be spent. Be careful lest you let other people spend it for you." Mm-hmm. Great quote. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
John and Heidi.
Make plans to join us for the second annual 80s in the Sand. My wife Heidi and I went last year. It was so much fun. And guess who's going to be there this year? It's Brett Michaels.
Hello, everybody. It's Brett Michaels. I will see you at 80s in the Sand, Tuesday, November 6th, Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. I promise you, this is going to be the ultimate concert, party, best night ever. Let's rock on, my friends.
Get your tickets now at 80sinthesand.com. Over 90% of the tickets are sold. Don't wait. 80sinthesand.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day. Heidi, do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday, what is today? The 6th. Holy cow, I was still looking at August. The 6th day of September. It's National Coffee Ice Cream Day. Have you ever had coffee ice cream? That sounds really good.
I have, I believe.
It's also National Read a Book Day. So all of
I
those
love
things
to
happening.
read.
I know you do. You read a lot. You're a prolific reader, Heidi. So very good. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
John and Heidi.
If you want to grow your business, you can either add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. Or a combination of both, but there's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow sales. And you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Sign up at betterresultsadvertising.com. That's betterresultsadvertising.com.
Time now for, is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Heidi, tell me. Emerald Valley in Cresswell, Oregon. Golf course or rehab center?
Golf course.
It is a golf course. Yes, Emerald Valley is a golf course. Good job. You're getting pretty good.
That makes sense to me because it's green.
But that also sounds like a good place to go for rehabilitation. Checked into Emerald Valley for the week. All right. We've got to take longer than a week. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
Fortunately, I've never had to go
thank goodness,
to rehab.
nor have I. And I also haven't been spending a whole lot of time at golf courses. But we do have your brain on drugs coming right up. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This time of year, there are many parties, weddings, cookouts, and other events that often include alcohol. If you're drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. The Addiction Hope and Helpline wants to help. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, there's a toll-free number you can call, 1-800-438-0380. That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline, 1-800-438-0380, 1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. A Dominican man won't be resting easy after admitting in court that he planned to smuggle more than 6 pounds of cocaine through the Newark Airport customs inside a neck pillow. So, he thought he had a good plan. 21-year-old Rafael Francisco Batista Permundo.
He told them that he was going to?
Well, he was one of 2 people arrested at the airport in October. Apparently, this is from last year. In October? Yeah, that's a long time ago. Customs and Border Protection officers found more than 6.5 pounds sewn inside of each of their respective pillows. He and his co-defendant, Brendan Monsibo, who only has 2 names. The other guy had like 5 names in a row there. They were stopped at the baggage screening checkpoint after arriving on a flight.
So it's not like he just walked up
Dominican
to
Republic.
Customs
No.
and said, hey, I'm going to do this.
He told them this last week at court. So
okay.
He pled guilty this last week to drug conspiracy charge, carries a potential sentence of up to 40 years in prison and a mandatory minimum of 5 years in prison.
I was going to say, that's not a good plan at all. You don't walk up to him and say, hey, guess what I've got in my pillow.
That's not how it happened, but they got caught. He admitted to it this week in court. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, a little screen. Disgraced Today Show host Matt Lauer told fans that he'll be back on television real soon. What does he know that we don't know?
Really?
I wonder if there's going to be a channel just for the people who've all been... Turn it on to the Me Too channel.
Maybe they're bringing back Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yeah, well, that could be.
And he can just tell them all kinds of stories, and then we have to decide for ourselves.
Believe it?
Did that happen?
Or not. No, Matt Lauer didn't get in trouble for lying. That was
that was
guy.
the other guy.
He was the one that had like a special button in his office and was doing all kinds of...
Oh, yeah, the naughty
Yeah.
stuff.
So there's a lot of people that maybe could go, if they had a network just for those guys, you know, they could have their own little network.
All kinds of things they could do.
And the first footage has now been revealed from the final season of Game of Thrones. I actually got this the end of last week. I had look at this, down to those two. I had so much stuff. I finally just said, I got to get rid of some of this. So we're going to have fresh and new info from tomorrow moving forward. But now, this has done it for today's Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by 80sinthesand.com. Some crazy news in the military world. Russia is reportedly testing a battlefield exoskeleton that would turn their soldiers into pretty much Iron Man.
I love that.
Isn't that cool? I wonder if
that
we're going to have those.
So
do you think
cool.
we're going to make those then too?
I would assume we are.
We're all going to have those. I just kind of want to get one. Do you think they make one in my size?
That is
so
cool.
The fat Iron Man over there. And going through the buffet faster than anyone else. This is not what this technology was designed for, John. Hey, drinking hot chocolate could stimulate an increased brain activity. Harvard medical scientists studied the people from the ages of 59 to 83. Those who regularly drank hot cocoa, it says cocoa flavanol-rich drinks, had an 8% increase in blood flow after just 1 week. Huh. So there you go.
That's a cool thing. I like cocoa.
I do too, and I like there's several different kinds that I've tried, and there's some that I don't like. I remember there was a brand that we had for a while. I was like, just didn't like it. It had a weird taste to it. Study shows that parents begin to lose control of their children at the age of 13. You might want to go back to the drawing board on that one.
Yeah, I think it's probably earlier.
After watching every step around the kids at about age 13, parents are left wondering what their kids are eating and doing, and who they're friends with, and what they're up to. I see that happen a lot younger. So maybe it's just the people that we know. I know somebody that's got some kids that are, I don't know exactly how old they are, but I know they're under that age.
And they are out of control.
Completely. Like to the point where I'm going, can I discipline them for you?
Can I help you with that?
I'll gladly help. I'll be a dad for hire if you need one. The average woman owns at least 20 pairs of shoes, but only wears 5 of them. 90% of women say they have a pair that they have never, ever worn. Heidi, do you have any of these?
Yes.
How many pair?
More than one. I'm not even going to say because...
Okay. Let's go through the closet and get rid of those.
But I might have an occasion where I could wear them.
You bought me a bunch of shoes. I have like a whole pile of shoes at the bottom of my closet that I've never worn because I didn't want them and I don't need them. I'm like, what are these? Oh, I got these for you. I'm never going to wear those. You got me some that were pink at one point. I was like, what am I going to do with pink wings?
I did not get you pink.
You got them because our daughter was going to be in thing.
because you were in a pageant.
Yeah, I wasn't in a pageant. She was in a pageant. You said,
but there was a father-daughter competition.
You should wear pink wing tips. I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
It was adorable.
Yeah. Somehow I was sick that weekend. I was like, oh, yes. Sadly, I didn't get to wear the pink shoes. The World Chess Hall of Fame in Missouri has built the world's largest chess piece. It's out in front of their building. It is a king, and it stands over 14 feet tall. That's a big chess piece right there. And the average adult will drive out of their way for a good meal. I will do this. Will you go out of your way for a good meal, something that you really like?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think most people do. It says the average adult I I can't talk today. The average adult will. According to the survey, the average American is perfectly willing to drive 36 miles out of their way just to get some good food.
Remember when we lived in Storm Lake, Iowa? How many times did we drive all the way to Anthon, Iowa, which was how far?
That's
it
like
was
an hour.
like an hour.
But it was a really good steakhouse. And then we would get so full, we would barely be able to drive home. We're like, I'm so miserable.
And we'd be so tired and nodding off.
To pull over and take a nap. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. This has been your scoop of the day.
John and Heidi.
If you want to grow your business, you can either add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. Or a combination of both, but there's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow sales. And you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Sign up at betterresultsadvertising.com. That's betterresultsadvertising.com.
Time now for Dear John Letters. I've got a Dear John letter that could use your attention today, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a moment to chime in with your advice, I would love to give this person a bunch of advice. Usually our Dear John letters are kind of silly. You know, we can have like a silly little answer and stuff, but we got to be a little more serious today. Here's the letter for today. Dear John, my biological clock is ticking. I'm in my upper 30s, and I would like to have children. I'm dating a guy that has 3 kids from his first marriage. He was married young and then divorced. We've been dating now for 2 years. Over the weekend, I talked to him about our future, and he told me he does not want to get married and will not have any more kids. Man, that's kind of sad. I absolutely love his kids and would miss them as much or maybe even more than I would miss him. But I also think I deserve to be with someone who wants to get married. My family's upset with me for living together and, quote, playing house, as my mom calls it. What do I do now? Do I move on, or do I just keep pretending and learn to live with it? Any advice? Signed, Pretend Wife and Mom. That's really kind of sad. Now,
move out and move on. End of story.
Boy.
You should have had this conversation
Absolutely.
before you moved in with this man.
Well, and it's
Some
too
people,
late.
I mean, seriously,
It's too
you
late
clearly
now.
were not thinking.
Okay. What do you do now? 2 years later, because they've been dating for 2 years.
2 years. You didn't have this conversation for 2 years. Are you kidding?
They probably have, but he apparently made the decision now that no, I don't want to get married. Here's something that I think he needs to understand. Not all marriages are the same. So he got married young and he got divorced young, but that doesn't mean that your marriage wouldn't work. If you guys have been together for 2 years, if everything else is going well, it's almost like you're married, other than the fact that, well, you're not married. I was married young, and I got divorced, and the day that I met Heidi, this good-looking chick that I sit here with every day, she's my wife. I'm a very, very fortunate man. I'm blessed beyond belief. But the day that I met her, I seriously said to my younger brother, I'm never getting married again. Do you remember? I told you that. You know, didn't tell you that the day we met. But, you know, God has a way of saying, oh, really? You think you're not getting married, huh? Well, guess what? Maybe you will. Now, I don't know. This is where I'm asking for other people to chime in with their advice. This is a tough one for me because she says right in here that she loves his kids. Make them your own. You know, they're your kids too. Now, I don't know. It doesn't say anything at all about his ex.
That has nothing to do with the whole marriage part.
No, I understand.
Move out and move on. If
Okay,
he has
but
no
here's the
intention
thing.
in being faithful and loyal to you and marrying you, then you're wasting your time. Because what's going to happen is you're going to go closer and closer to these kids.
Yeah.
And then someday he's going to just move on because he doesn't want a commitment. He's telling you he does not want a commitment to you. So
That'd
he's
be
going to
so
move
tough.
on.
I
And
don't
now
know.
you're just even more heartbroken. So
And-
it's like a Band-Aid. Rip it off. Go away. Move
And
on.
your biological clock will have ticked even more.
And once you've left, maybe he will get his head out of his butt and realize he wants to be with you, and maybe he'll change his ways.
Yeah. I don't know. That's tough for me because I can see where if it were me, I'll tell you what I would do because I can't, you know, I guess I can only give advice that I would give if I were in your shoes. If you absolutely adore his children, then you have kids. I understand that there's, you know, it doesn't say anything about how the other mother is involved, like their biological
The whole becoming
mother.
a mother thing doesn't even enter into this, honestly, because if he doesn't want to marry you, you don't want to have children with this man anyway. So the children part is irrelevant.
But-
it is completely irrelevant. You need to find somebody who adores you and wants you in his life and wants to be with you forever. And this isn't the guy.
All right. Well, I don't necessarily agree with what Heidi's saying. I understand what you're saying.
How could you not agree? You're saying talk him into having kids even though he doesn't want to marry you?
I'm not saying talk him into having kids. You're not even listening to what I'm saying.
There's no sense in talking about the kids till we first talked about marriage, because you shouldn't be having children until you're married.
Well, and again, they made the mistake. She made the mistake of moving in 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
And it's a little too late now. But where do you go now? Because now, 2 years later, you've grown very close to these kiddos too, which is really sad that he would put you in a situation now where he's saying,
and his children in a situation.
Yeah, no, I don't want to get married. I just want to continue to pretend that we're married. That's not the right way to do it. If you have good advice, I would love to see some really good advice. On our Facebook page, you'll find this Dear John letter, and there's a place right there where you can chime in. You can also submit your own Dear John letter for next week in that same place. You'll find that at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Thanks for listening on a Thursday.
John and Heidi.
If you want to grow your business, you can add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers, or a combination of both. There's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow your sales, and you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Text Radio Trial to number 22828. That's Radio Trial, all one word, to number 22828.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Have you ever heard of a pimento? Do you know what that is?
Yes, I do.
Where do you find one of those?
I don't know.
In an
They're
olive.
Inside. Well, I thought you meant where do they come from before
No.
they're inserted into the olive.
If you didn't want to call it a pimento, did you know, here's the fun fact for you, Heidi, pimento is alternatively known as allspice. So that's the other name for it, allspice.
Because that question was misleading, because a pimento does not grow in an olive.
No.
They are put inside olives.
Yeah, it's an allspice.
So where do they come from originally?
They come from the allspice aisle. I don't know. I just read these things. It's not like I'm smart. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
John and Heidi.
Make plans to join us for the second annual 80s in the Sand. My wife Heidi and I went last year. It was so much fun. And guess who's going to be there this year? It's Brett Michaels.
Hello, everybody. It's Brett Michaels. I will see you at 80s in the Sand, Tuesday, November 6th, Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. I promise you, this is going to be the ultimate concert, party, best night ever. Let's rock on, my friends.
Get your tickets now at 80sinthesand.com. Over 90% of the tickets are sold. Don't wait. 80sinthesand.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day. And the word today is a long word. It's loganamnosis. 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 What do you think loganamnosis means, Heidi?
I have no clue.
It is a mania or an obsession, trying to recall forgotten words or a specific word. So if you have a word that you're going, no, that's not what it is. It's this. No, it's not. What am I trying to think of? You ever have one of those? Like, you can't think of the right word?
Yes, I have.
I have that happen all the time. And it happens more recently than it did ever when I was, not as silver on the sides of my head. My hair is changing colors. My goatee, look how silver this is getting.
I know.
I might actually start shaving
There's
this
a
off.
lot of gray there.
I don't know, and I got wrinkles on the side of my face. What happened to me? I was a young pup just the other day, and now I'm turning into an old dog, and I can't remember stuff because I suffer from loganamnosis, or however you say it. Today's grandiloquent word.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Time now for some weird news on a Thursday. A New Zealand politician cycled to the hospital to give birth to her first child.
Holy cow!
Yeah. Julie Gentner, she's 38. She was 42 weeks along. She said she went by bicycle to be induced because there wasn't...
to be induced, so she wasn't in labor.
There wasn't enough space in the car for the support crew. she posted pictures on Instagram of her and her partner enjoying the beautiful Sunday morning ride.
Okay.
So they rode.
Well, that's different. Here, I was thinking, like, she's crowning.
Do you have another helmet for the baby? I mean, at what point do we need to be safe here? You have to walk into the hospital a little bow-legged. I don't know that it's... I don't think so. I don't think it's quite that bad. I do have a link to the story if you want to read all about it in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. Police are investigating a very bizarre break-in at a Manhattan, New York City restaurant where a thief broke into a restaurant at about 7 a.m. This happened in July 5th. Took off all of his clothing.
Whoa.
Then took $600 from the cash register, stole an iPad and a cordless phone and a company credit card. Then he put all of his clothing back on and ran off. Why was he getting naked to rob the place?
Who knows?
But, you know, they got it all on camera. It's just a bizarre story. They're still working on trying to crack that case from back in July. So I don't feel so bad about reading stories from last week now when I have other stories like this that pop up from like a month and a half ago. That's not my fault. This just came out. I do have some fun things to get to. We've got some good news that we'll wrap things up with. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
John and Heidi.
If you want to grow your business, you can add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers or a combination of both. There's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow your sales and you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Text Radio Trial to number 22828. That's Radio Trial, all one word, to number 22828.
John and Heidi.
Time now for fake news or Florida. But in lieu of that, we're going to do Tall Tale or Tennessee.
All righty, let's
I've got
do
somebody
it.
that sent me a list of these because they think that maybe they can stump you, Heidi.
Okay.
So, all right. Tell me, Tall Tale or Tennessee? A property owner locked in the sheriff deputies while they were searching his property. Like, closed the gate and locked him in. Tall Tale or Tennessee?
Tennessee.
That actually did happen. And it's a person who has a place called the Blue Cove Hideaway. And I guess there's been a lot of little issues that have happened there. And the sheriff said the place is a public nuisance. There were 2 drownings that happened there. And
Yikes.
and it's been closed since July 29th under a court order. Well, they went to check the place, and when they were there, he locked the gate so they couldn't get out.
He did on purpose, or
Well,
he
it's what-
accidentally did, not knowing they were in there?
I don't know. That's what they said that he did, but he may have a different story. I think he gets to go to court in September here, so he says he'll be back in court to face criminal charges in September.
Whoa.
So since that's still going on, we won't comment on it. I didn't say any names other than, the name of the place, but that was in the news. Tall Tale or Tennessee, and it was absolutely a Tennessee. This in place of fake news or Florida for today. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. This is actually a pretty cool story. Good news comes your way courtesy of Odiva. That is the monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All the details at radiosavings.com. A couple of firefighters nursed an exhausted hummingbird back to health.
Oh,
Heroes.
How sweet.
And the heroes are not limited to fighting fires. They're also being hailed for rescuing a tiny hummingbird. It says here the Richburg Fire Rescue in South Carolina found a little critter outside of their fire station, and they said the bird was lying there tired and dehydrated on the pavement. They filled a bottle cap with water and stayed with the animal until it had enough water that it was strong enough to stand and then eventually fly away. They said you can teach almost anyone how to be a firefighter or a medic or just about anything imaginable. What is virtually impossible is to teach compassion. That's what the person in charge of the department said about the people working there. We are fortunate that we have a tremendous group in our department that has a passion and desire to help regardless of the situation. So it's not the first time this has happened, and knowing our members, it will not be the last time. So they've done this in the past where they've helped out like that. There's images here of this little hummingbird.
Absolutely adorable.
Yeah, and the firefighters down on the concrete working with the hummingbird to get him to drink some water, and it
I
worked.
love hummingbirds so
I do
much.
too.
How could you not? They're so stinking
and it's
cute.
so fun to watch their little wings flap.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've got a link to the story in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening on this Thursday. Again, we did have a Dear John letter that if you have a moment to chime in with some good advice, we could use it today. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show is where you go. And thank you to those who've already done that. I posted it early. Again, if you'd like to chime in with your advice, Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.